What's going on social media? So we are on Bottoms Up Perspective, episode 83.
Three.
So, yep, 83. We're getting closer to 100 every Wednesday, right? So today we could talk about selling online. As most of you guys know, Jeremy's the expert with this topic,
No, I'm
right?
not really.
With
Not really.
shopping,
Yeah, what's the point of talking about
online,
retail if you don't
re-
sell?
retail, right?
Some selling on the site.
He's the
I think
expert at buying stuff, but not
yeah,
selling.
exactly.
Then there's no point. We can stop this episode now. There's no value.
I do have a.
I mean, seriously, like everyone shops. Like, what's the big deal?
I do have a little, very, very small little bit of sell experience as I've shared online, right? And they post setting up a really small shop earlier days. That was when me and my wife were living in Shanghai, alone, no kids, nothing much to do, and we had access to like wholesale stuff in Shanghai. This place called Qipu Lu, which sounds like cheapo road, cheapo. So you can get things on the cheap there, wholesale stuff. And so as the story goes, my wife was looking to set up something, and then it's really more of she also liked this stuff, so she might as well, being an expert in it, do a bit of buy and sell, right, to fund her own purchases. So it's these kind of a tote bag, which like has some plastic covering outside. And then there are some like nice design, nothing on the luxury branding kind of side of things. And so on certain weekends, we will go and purchase some of these smaller samples, a few sizes, a few designs, take some photos and put it up online, and then hope to share and sell some. But initially, it's really word of mouth between friends and relatives to help push that. So the main pitfall or downfall of that really is
Wait, hang on. Yeah.
Go ahead.
You're teaching us how to do garage sale now, is it?
It's well, you can say that because back then it's really like 2008, 2009, right? Nothing is as set up as now with all this Shopify stuff, right? WooCommerce or whatever called Amazon, Etsy, and things like that. Probably back then not so advanced, and mind you, it was like China, and we didn't really put anything on Taobao, that kind of thing. Back then it was starting, but not as big as now. Yeah, so now it's like overcrowded. Yeah, you can say it's like kind of a garage sale. We're trying to do something in the free time, side hustle, nothing big planned. So we didn't even put anything like on marketing and selling. It's like word of mouth, selling through friends. We only did it for a few months. Then my child was arriving, and then we just stopped there. Made enough money to cover. I was going to go into the biggest part in terms of cost, or rather where you hit a margin really, is the shipment part, right? We were essentially just selling to people in Singapore, and we had to find ways to send it from Shanghai to Singapore, and the cost is quite considerable to ship goods across. And I think if I remember correctly, the same bags probably go for like twice the price over what we could get at cost. So the big part on how much we can actually make is really on the shipment side of things. So that's kind of like the little garage sale online selling. I wouldn't even call ourselves SME, right? It's just for fun, see how much we can get from there. Yeah, so that's kind of my little experience on how to sell online.
Do you talk about this on your podcast as a guest, or?
No. I've never. I think it's the first time I shared. Never.
So for you guys as part of the world, you guys just had the 11/11, right? Which is the big sales day. So in America, retail, everyone's getting ready for what we call the Black Friday, right? And so, this is a really relevant topic right now, especially for an agency like mine. So a lot of SMEs, they're prepping. It's their biggest sales day if they're doing any kind of online retail, right? So they're running social media ads, they're running Google ads, they're running every sort of ads you can think of. And also, if you're on the LinkedIn platform, you'll notice all the courses go on sale, right? All the coaches, all the consultants, for 2 days only at this price, you can sign
they're
up.
just short of selling themselves, right?
Yep. So it's a big day in this special U.S. culture, I guess, starting the day after Thanksgiving. And I have a feeling because of the pandemic and everything opening up in the U.S., I think we'll see a tremendous amount of people actually not shopping online, but going back to the retail space, because I think everyone's craving that experience after Thanksgiving to wait in line to go buy the TV. So I think it's going to be crazy. So I'm going to be at home with my doors locked and not spending a dime.
But
anyway,
so, okay.
Don't think Jennifer's gonna be too pleased about that.
She'll be the same, man. She's more I think she's more afraid of COVID than I am. Yeah. So,
I mean, on this topic, right? I believe, for the record, Singles Day 11/11 is bigger than Black Friday and Cyber Mondays combined, right? In terms of GMV, gross merchandise value, whatever you call that. So if you really want to talk about selling online, I think Black Friday and Cyber Mondays are kind of slightly different, because Singles Day 11/11 got its origins really predominantly online. But I do think that for Black Friday, it's really originated more physical stores, not so much online. Because, I mean, year after year, we see all these crazy videos of people waiting at the door, right? Once the gate comes out, and people just crawling under it to grab their big TVs at huge discounts. So I think for Black Friday, it's really more on the other way around. It started more physical store, and now it's more going online because of convenience and whatever. But usually the bigger, better deals are in the physical store versus the online. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. That's my impression. So I think if we want to stick to this topic, right, how to sell online, especially on such huge days, I think maybe Kevin, you might have to share with us, right? What would your advice be for SMEs or retailers, even coaches, right, to really stand out from this whole noise and clutter, right? Because everyone's going to promote themselves on this day, and to do it online effectively, how they should look into doing that, be it selling their services or merchandise.
And I think for an SME, right, you don't have to budget to compete with these giants. So depending on what your product or service is, right, you really need to focus on your creativity, on how you can be creative regards to your ads that you're putting out. But on top of that, you should never wait until Black Friday, Singles Day. If you're an SME, you should look at the rest of the year, because most likely you're not going to do as well with people who have a larger budget. That is just the truth. It's sad to say, but you can't compete. In the world of social media, ad management, Google Ads is all about the money. How much can you spend? Then, of course, then your creativity, your copy, all that matters as well. But if you don't have the budget, I think it always cracks me up when people have very small budgets and they come to my agency and they want this ROI, and I look at them and I go, okay, what makes you, okay, you sell shoes, right? Let's say tennis shoes, okay? You have $1,000 budget, okay? Nike sells shoes and they have $1,000 budget per every 2 minutes.
I was gonna say hour, but 2 minutes probably.
So it's like, what are you trying to complete? Why are you trying to compete, right? So then you have to look at creativity. What are you willing to give away? What are you willing to do? What can you complement your products or get really creative on? Either your video or the way you do your ads that really speak to the people, right? Like, you have to work so much harder on Black Friday and Singles Day, right? So for me, is it worth it, right? You know, so if you don't have to budget, it might be better to look at the rest of the year, you know, and how do I monetize my brand? And it comes to like same with these consultants and coaches. I think the world is changing, and we talk about this in the last few episodes about building relationship, being transparent. People are looking for community. That's why nowadays you have social media community managers that get paid $50K, $60K in the US. That used to, there was no such thing, you know. I was looking at highest pay digital marketing jobs in 2022, and it's like community managers, right? For social media. They're one of the higher pay ones.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I was like, oh, really? Because the community matters, right? So you can sell into your loyal fans, right? So instead of looking, if you're an SME, throughout the year, you build these loyal communities, right? So let's say you have a community. Then you present your Black Friday special or your Cyber Monday special just to your community. Then you don't have a budget going, oh, the entire, you know, north part of the US or, you know, or entire Singapore. You can do, hey, just my community within my group, right? So your dollars go a lot further. So people are smarter. I think consumers are smarter. We get it nowadays. We just don't buy stuff looking at ads, right? And I think a lot of people go shopping on these special days because it's the experience. It's part of saying, hey, I just did it. It feels good to be a part of it. Psychologically, I think you just think that, hey, because these are big sales days, therefore I need to be a part of it, right? Human nature, you know.
Yeah, I tend to agree a little bit on that in terms of the, you know, FOMO, fear of missing out. We have sort of been conditioned, especially in this part of the world, online-wise, to look for dates that...
That's good, Kenneth.
Single every day.
Kenny's single every day, so
shops every day, maybe. So I was gonna say that in terms of online, in this part of the world, we've been conditioned. I think I've said this many times before. We've been conditioned to shop on the days of the month where it's the recurring same number, right? 1st of January, 2nd of February, 12th of December, Singles Day, 11/11. All this has been generated because of 11/11, and just gets more and more exaggerated in terms of the time that they have this called promotion. For example, what's coming will be 12th of December, 12/12, and it used to be that one day, big day that, you know, have better deals, yeah, and now it becomes like, oh, the 3 days before, and now the entire week before 12/12, and the week after is also the sales period, right? So we've been really conditioned to shop during these kind of periods of time, online especially. And another reason of late that has been trying to push more spending during these special days online is lucky draws. Say, for example, this year in Singapore, Lazada, which is partly owned by, either partly or wholly owned by Alibaba, I can't remember, they have a draw to compete with the other online platforms. And guess what? They are giving out a condominium, $1 million plus, small size one, but it's still $1 million draw. And the winner happened to be, I think I just read, a 70-year-old retired hawker, somebody who sells food. And all he purchased was $3 something of a aloe vera cream or something. Of course, there were other mechanics in play where you have to play a certain game, there's gamification in it. But he won. He spent $3+, he won a condo for $1 million plus.
But Singapore. You brought a very good point right there, Jeremy. So that's where creativity comes in, right?
It's big bucks as well.
Yeah, the brands have to be creative, right, in order to promote giving away a condominium. And think about the publicity the brand gets for giving it to the hawker and the storytelling possibilities for that brand, right? So they're getting a lot of media, and all the people that actually try to sign up in hopes to win that condominium. So they're getting a lot of advertising. You know, way beyond
that $1 million, and the news will just continue. And better than that is that it will fuel the intention to want to spend next year, right? Because they remember, wow, last year was a condo.
In hopes that, hey, I can be the one that buy in $3 aloe vera.
Or you hold all your spending and put it on that one big day to increase your chances of win something.
Yep.
Right. And just to clarify,
Just
right?
like doggy coin, guys. Dogecoin.
It's going to the moon.
Still
Yeah,
alive?
it is. It
Still
is. It's
alive?
going to the moon. Yeah. I think they're trying to use Dogecoin to
It's going
fund
to
the
hell,
SpaceX.
man.
Going to hell. Wow, you got me intrigued. Let me just do a check. How do you spell the damn thing? Dogecoin,
DOGE. DOGE.
Doge.
DOGE. Dodgy coin. Very dodgy. So while you're searching there, Aldrich, I just want to clarify on Kevin's behalf.
Yep.
Kevin, when you mentioned that it just cracks you up when people come with a small budget, you're not laughing at the small budget. Okay, I want to clarify for you. It's more of the unrealistic expectations that you think you can beat the noise and the clutter on a huge day like Black Friday to compete against millions of other bigger brands that have tons of money. Right, I really want to clarify that because I don't want them to be offended.
Yeah, and only if you are very niche and you have a very target audience that's very niche, no one else is doing it, then as an SME, maybe you can compete, right? But it's just like digital marketing agency, right? If you were to ask me if I will do a digital marketing agency right now, I would say screw it. I would never open a digital marketing agency right now. It's like, why would you? Like, I have young people come to me and go, I love social media. I want to start an agency. I go, no, don't. And they think I'm being mean. And they're like, oh, well, this guy's scared that I'll compete with him. And I'm like, no, I'm actually trying to save your young life. Find something else to do, because the noise is so much louder now. Like, when I started, it was 7 years ago. And, like, social media, no one cared, they still thought, oh, this guy's lying. Why do I need to be on social media? And all of a sudden, we were early adapters, right? And where I live, in the city I live. But now, everyone's a digital marketer, man. There's so many agencies that I see come and go. And if we didn't build a brand, throughout the years, so we have referrals and clientele from the past, it's a lot harder to get your foot wet because the market's different and the market is changing so fast, right? It's like, don't look at social media. Become a metaverse consultant. Do something different. Be looking at tomorrow. Become an NFT expert or coach.
Yeah, look at the next big thing. I think to your point, especially in the past 18 months coming to 2 years due to the pandemic, I think there are a lot of people. Firstly, there are a lot of people who lost their jobs. Or secondly, there are people who reevaluated their employment situation whereby they feel that I want to start something on my own for whatever reason. No more iron rice bowl, or a corporation will just fire people in masses, that kind of thing. So they want to do something on their own or start a side hustle. And my own personal opinion, disclaimer, I think that there are a lot of courses now to either teach you how to sell online or do digital marketing. A lot of these, and a lot of people hop on that. But I think it might be overdone. I think we probably reach a saturation point. A lot of people are doing that. So to your point, Kevin, if everyone is going to be a online seller now, it's huge noise. How do you stand out? What are you selling? How do you sell online effectively? I think one of the answers that you touched on really is the community, because if you have people to build a community, they will be your direct target audience, or in our retail sense of the word, loyal customers. How do you create loyal customers, right? Because there will be people who buy once off, there will be people who buy many times. Those will be loyal customers. But what you actually want is to reach the point whereby the customers are your advocate. They speak for you. They sell on your behalf. They recommend people to you, to your brand. How do you find these people and build that following?
And
which is almost cult-like.
Example, look at drop shipping. Remember when drop shipping was super popular? I think it was early 2000.
There's still people doing it.
I remember I did a drop shipping website, and I sold computer parts to an vendor, and pretty much they'll ship it. And back then it was hot, like everyone was doing drop shipping. It was new.
It still is, right? I mean, there's still a lot of these ads going around that
but now it's super competitive.
Yeah.
It's not the same as when I started early 2000. So I think it's important to know your brand, what you're selling, and also I think be realistic as an SME. You really have to think about what's your product, what you're offering. And I know every business owner thinks they have the next best thing or the greatest thing out there. But, one of the biggest things for me is I have to always be honest with myself. What services I provide really suck. And if it sucks, either I got to remove it or I got to innovate and change it, my offering, right? Because the worst thing, your worst kryptonite in business is thinking you're always the best or you have the best product. You have to listen to the consumer. And I think as a lot of small to mid-sized business owners, they always think they have the greatest thing in the world.
And they can sell to everyone.
They hate to hear, even when they come to like a marketing agency like ours, or even if they went to a friend or family, they hate to hear the truth. Hey, it's really not that great, but you need to listen, and then I think you need to digest that and really think about it,
Cool. Kevin, just a question. So for SMEs to come to you, do you really tell them that if you think it's not great? Do you tell them point blank?
Sometimes I do, in a nice way, because I think I've gotten to the point where honesty goes a long ways, and sometimes they come back to me because they failed, they go somewhere else, and then they're like, man, I should listen to Kevin because I end up spending a lot of money. And for me, I've gotten to the point it's just like dating, right? As much as they want to be my customers, I'm also selecting them to be my customers. And used to, when I was early on as an agency, biggest mistake I think I made is I wanted to have everyone. So I just signed people up. Oh, $500 budget. Okay, $500 budget. Oh, $200 budget. Okay, let's make something happen. Let's figure it out. But then I look at, okay, you have only so many hours per day. Max, let's say 12, 15 hours, right? And then you still have to sleep a little bit and eat, and then you have to hire people, right, in order to support all these clients. So if you're supporting your little $200 a month, they take just as much work, actually more work sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because the smaller budget ones are more demanding. They have more issues. They don't understand. And it makes it harder. So in the reality of things, you start losing money, right? So I always go with the analogy, right? It's like the attorneys. Why do lawyers want winning cases? It's because winning cases will get their name out there. People will trust them. They'll get more cases. You want to choose a lawyer that have winning cases. So with digital marketing agency, hey, if you're an agency owner out there, I'm giving you some golden nuggets. The truth is, if you're an agency out there, think about it this way. Do you want winning cases? 9 out of 10 times I know the customers that come to me, if they're going to fail or if they're going to win. I know if they have a winning products because I've seen it so many times. Even services, right? So, but a lot of them hate me telling the truth. And they get really upset with me sometimes. Right? And they go, oh, this guy, I'm going to go somewhere else. I go take my money somewhere else. Oh, that's fine. But the truth is, it also makes my agency look bad because when things don't work out or they fail, then they go, oh, I hired J29 Creative Group and Kevin Kwok, and they couldn't get me the ROI. They couldn't do anything for me. So that's more damaging to me for my reputation. But then they're the ones with the $500 a month budget to run ads on Black Friday, right? So it really depends on the business. And of course, give or take, there are people that are good people, and I can tell they're really hard workers or they can make it happen. Then yes, I'll work with them, But there's people who just don't listen and they don't want to. You just know.
Yeah.
Business has to do with, it's not just products, it's also management. It's also who you are as a business owner. And there's people you just know will fail.
Aldrich,
Better
you're
fail
quiet.
soon.
Yep.
Fail fast.
Better fail soon. Yeah.
Yep.
Fail today, man.
Yep.
Because if
Yep.
you don't understand. You will never understand.
Yep.
I mean, like, I just want to pick one point that we mentioned just now, and I think it was mentioned. I think, Jeremy, we spoke about it, the community management thing. It
Yeah.
was actually discussed in the episode with Gabe.
Yes.
And I just want to do this because the target audience for our series is with SMEs. So if you have the idea that having a community means your sales is gonna hit the roof, I'm sorry to tell you that's not gonna happen. Even though Kevin and Jeremy made it sound like it, it isn't it. Saying it because we are practitioners of it. It doesn't go that way. Building a community takes a lot of time.
Yep.
But you have to spend even more time with them before you pitch your first sale, because when the relationship is fragile and you do that, they'll walk away and they'll become your ghost community member. And we have a lot of that, right? In our own bottoms up perspective community. So I just want to say a word of practicality here. I think don't be too deluded even into what we are saying, like building a community and things along those lines. If your intent is to sell, that really is a kind of like multi-months, multi-year kind of a horizon. If your business can last that long, go ahead. If you are really trying to get more sales so that your business, it can fit into your business and go, I would think that you have to get other part-time jobs, or you have to get other assignments as a freelancer to tide you through. So go ahead and build your community, but I don't recommend spending 3 hours or 4 hours a day to do that when you are just starting out. I don't recommend it at all, even if it's free. It's not about the cost. Kevin mentioned the time. It's not about the time. It's about the energy.
Yep.
If you don't sleep, you have 24 hours a day. Can you function at your peak 24 hours a day? We are humans. That's why it will be a robotic era. You better have your little robot beside you to help you. And I'm saying this because I think as humans, we have, our potential is sky high. The thing is that it takes a lot of energy to get to that point. And when we do run out of energy, and we have to come back. So you may want to pace yourself. Long and short of it is, yes, community management is one of the ways to do it, but you need to have the patience and the stamina to do it. Doesn't take a lot of money, for sure. Now you got to think about nurturing your community, and then how are you going to pitch your first sale? I guarantee you, 80% of the people will turn their backs on you.
Yep. I think even
It's
even
like
before,
family. It's like family. You can build a very strong relationship with your family. I mean, I'm talking about the commercial side of family, okay? Yes, your family can be commercialized. Okay, but you can spend a lot of time nurturing strong relationships with your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, whoever that's in your family. Every day, every evening, have dinner with them, bring them out, have good food and things like that. And 6 months down the road, if just try to present them an insurance contract, 100% of them will turn their backs on you. That's community management. Do you want to spend your time to do that? I don't know. I think there are better alternatives out there, and I'm just being practical, because if you're selling online, find ways to accelerate the funnel and get to just maybe 2 or 3 steps before the deal as fast as possible, because you're going to spend a lot of time trying to close that deal. So you don't want to spend too much time at the front of the deal, especially when you're SME and you're starting out.
even before you go into the community building stage, I think just want to put the word out there, right? Selling online these days, a lot of people try to make it look very easy, easy to start, easy to get onto. Just put your product up there, take some pictures. I mean, that was why I related my experience earlier. It might be even more complicated now because there are so many platforms, and every platform have their own unique way to operate. For example, I mean, at the very least, for every product you want to sell, you need a picture. How are you going to get a picture? You're going to take it somehow, some way, right? And then you got to put it up, and then you need to be able to write something about it, talk about specifications, weight, size, height, and all that kind of thing. That is work, and that is the basic bare minimum you have to set up before you think about who you're going to sell to or building your community of people who might buy this, right? And then there's still other things like pricing, shipment details. It's not as easy as it looks, and it's not as easy as it sounds. So yeah, I just want to put it out there, right? Because I think a lot of all
think
these.
about it too. Jeremy brought up a great point. Even Amazon. Back then, you just go Amazon. It's easy. Nowadays, because Amazon is already at its peak, there's so many people selling products on there. It goes back to, do you know how to utilize the back end of Amazon? That's why
their own internal
Amazon
search and all that,
agencies, right? Because Amazon works just like SEO. Are you using the right keywords? Are you tagging the right things? Is your product positioned in the photography? Does it work with Amazon's algorithm? Do you have a product video? Do you have, loyalty program? There's just so much to it. Even me, we're in the agency, but I wouldn't touch Amazon because we're not experts at it. It's like another language, right? So people have to understand, like, when you're an SME, you have to look at, hey, do I have a product? And then do I have the time? If you don't have the time, are you willing to pay for the resources to help you? Do all these things. There's a lot more to online selling than just a product. And then I do agree with Eldrick, right? We did make it sound like, hey, community is important. But then you also have to look at...
you did make it sound sexy.
Yeah. Depending on
But there are many steps before getting to bid, right?
Yep. But depending on the product you have, and does it fit that community, right? Is it niche, right? Because there are diehard fans, right? When it comes to, like, let's say, example, solar energy trucks, right? There's obviously people who believes in it, and they want to invest in it before the first product, right? It's a very tight community. They believe in saving the planet. And some people just want big trucks, be able to drive long ways with an electric car. So you have to look at all those things. And community is, like Eldrick said, it takes time, right? And who's going to do it? And it takes certain personalities. So, like, example, us three, we're not good community people. That's why we don't have a Discord group, right? Or any group, because... once we, especially I can speak for Pi Eldrick too. Him and I, once I get drowned in work, I am just into my work only. There's no community at all. You can LinkedIn me 6,000 times and I do not see you. Okay? And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm in the zone.
It's just reality. Yeah,
I'm
just
working.
Reality.
It's like, even my wife, she comes in and asks me something. I'm like, get out. There's no community or family when I'm working. But then we understand each other. So we understand that. But it's not because I'm not being nice. So we don't make good community managers. So therefore, we need to have someone nurturing these communities. Now, my wife, she's awesome at it. Jennifer loves community. She loves talking to people. She truly cares about people. She knows all my neighbors by their first name. She knows who's who and whose kid just happened to do something. So it takes certain personalities, right? So when you're selling, it's the same thing. Certain people do well. Example, not everyone can be a Gary V. you know? And a lot of times as an agency, I remember when I first started, I would say 3 years into doing digital marketing, we had a wave of clients that goes, oh, I want to be like Gary Vee. I want to hire your agency, come document me. Just follow me every day, make videos. And in my mind, it's like some of these people have zero personalities. And I was like, man, no one wants to watch these. It's so boring, you know.
But these days that fall into the category of so bad that it's good.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you know, I want to be like Gary Vee, document my journey as a business owner. And I go, what are we documenting? Well, you sit in front of a computer for 8 hours. You know, like Gary's very entertaining. You see him go through garage sales. He has a lot of cuss words. You know, he's a very he's a very dramatic. Oh, yeah, you know, he has a lot of energy.
He's very outward.
But then you have these people have to understand. Not Gary's Gary. It works for Gary. It doesn't mean it'll work for you. You know, I know that a lot of people are sold on the idea of, oh, you know, every day put up a video. But it depends. Are you made for videos? You know, that's why, I mean, I gotta be honest, you know, we're okay at live shows. I wouldn't say me, Eldrick, and Jeremy are like host type personalities, right? That's probably why there's better live shows out there on LinkedIn and on, you know, Facebook that has like 80, as soon as they hop on, they don't even have to talk and there's like 100 people commenting, you know, just because the guy looks funny or the girl has a personality that people like. And they don't even have to deliver golden nuggets. They don't need nuggets, you know. I'm not blessed with that. You know, so at least I know I can identify my strength and weakness. So when you're selling online, you have to look at that. Even when it comes to, oh, you hear so much, you know, and I know Eldrick hates this word, right? Personal branding. Oh, we hear people go, oh, you know, when you sell online, you have to build your personal brand. Okay? Dude, there's some people, I don't care how you build it online, you're just not made for social media. So you know, go sell something offline. You know, please don't log in. You know, it takes certain personalities to build personal brands.
I was going to say that, yeah. You took the words out of my mouth. Personality, yeah.
Or if you don't get it, think about Hollywood. How many actors and actresses are successful out of the thousands of people that go to LA and try to become a performer? It's the same thing online. I think a lot of people try, and there's only one group that actually makes money. Right?
Yeah. I recently read as a comment, I think this is like a popular saying within China where, you know, we have a lot of live streamers. I think the popular saying going around that circle is like 95% of live streamers in China are not making money. They're starving. 4% is making a living, and then the last 1% is making a killing. I think that's kind of like the reality of selling online. I mean, in this part really is on live streaming. I don't know. Audrey, you seem to disagree.
No, it's life.
Mm-hmm.
It's human nature. We all aspire to be the better version
the
of
top
ourselves.
1%.
No. So first, we all aspire to have a better life. And to do that, we all understand that we need to be a better version of ourselves compared to yesterday, the day before, the week before, the month before, and the year before. We all understand that. But when we aggregate everybody's aspirations together, what that means is everyone is competing with each other to get to the top. And that is really the foundation of society we know today, which is the gears and the engine behind capitalism. So I'm just trying to say that no matter what you do, you will have to be able to compete. You will have to be able to sustain, because there will always be someone else out there that you don't know is trying to kick your ass, and it's 24/7 now. So whether you're in an agency business, whether you're trying to get your community members to buy from you, whether whatever hustle that you have or freelancing that you have, even in your day job. I know now it's all about the great resignation, but even in your day job, you everyone wants the next tier. Everyone wants their promotion. Everyone wants to have the salary increment. No one in the right mind would want to be demoted.
That's right.
The
Yeah.
contented ones will just want to be comfortable at their own level. I get that, but don't be confused, because they might not want the responsibility, but they want the pay increment. So everyone wants something next year based upon this year. So no, I don't see it. There's a lot of things that we have been doing, and I think we are experienced enough to actually articulate it. So for one, I think if you are an introvert, find ways to win this game in a different manner. Like for myself, I like to work. I'm not a community person. I know Kevin isn't. We don't spend time like that. Kevin spends a lot of time trying to build his agency. As possible, I'll try to refer people to him. I know. I just did. And then now the thing is that for me, now that I have 9 to 6, so to speak, after and before that, I want to spend my time on my projects, my writing, my side hustles that I have. So all this is gonna take energy, right? And I have to be very shrewd in the way I manage my energy throughout the day. So it's like if it's after 6 o'clock, okay, and obligations are not that urgent in my day job, I can leave it to tomorrow. I have from 6 to 9 to really zoom in and focus on, okay, 3 hours. What do I want to do now? Is it my projects? Is it my writing? Okay, good. I zoom it in, right? Now, if you are somewhat introverted, maybe not introverted, or maybe you just don't want to deal with so many people en masse at the same time, and you do believe in personal branding. Now, one, if you are not that entertaining, life is not over for you. Like recently, I was a little I would say jaded over the writing that I'm doing. It's like the readership is dropping a little, and I'm like, is it about my writing? Is it about the genre? Is it about the publication? Is it about the length? So I was trying to play with the variables, and then one day, just one day, one of my ex-colleagues that's based in Dubai, but she's coming back. She said to me on WhatsApp, out of curiosity, I googled your name, Eldrick Chen, and I realized that you have 3 pages of Google results. So then she's like, how the fuck did you do that? I'll pay you X dollars. Teach me how to have 3 pages of results on Google. Right? Then I was.
Wait,
so I
why
was
did
like,
she do that search? Why did she do
that
that?
Blue, I think she's for sure. I mean,
She's trying to do something.
Things, right?
Correct. Exactly.
She want to do something. So I'm like,
do something,
okay.
huh?
So I went on my phone. I was on my laptop. So I just typed in my name, Eldrick Cho. I was like, oh wow, 3 pages of. So some of the articles made it, some didn't. Some YouTube clips made it, some didn't. Some interview YouTube clips made it. Some podcast clips made it, some didn't. And I was like, oh, my LinkedIn profile is on top, and then my Medium profile is the second one, and even my Quora profile that's dormant now is still there. So I'm like, maybe that's the way for the introverted for the introverted people who doesn't want to deal with the look at me and I have 6 packs and just go for a more practical approach. Go do things that helps you index your hyperlink of your work on Google. Now I think that works. It's an alternative, and of course, it's like trying to do your own videos and personal branding on social media. Most of us will fail, and some will be noticed, and a very small percentage of those will do very well. It's the same thing when you're trying to index on Google. I wrote so much, but I only I think less than 5% or 10% of my work. I think less than 5% actually. It is only 3 pages that made it and get indexed. Bottoms up. Some of our YouTube clips, I think only 1 or 2 made it on page 3. So it's a long. I'm just trying to say, so long as you put in the work, you will get something. Majority of the results will not make. A majority of your output will not make it, but there will be some that will help you. So play the game differently. Know yourself. I think the important thing is to know yourself.
Yep.
I'm getting curious now. So Jeremy, what's your last name?
SEA.
Okay.
Southeast Asia. SEA. My Jeremy is the MEY. Yeah, so it's the only extra
Let
E.
me
So
take a look what you have.
half a page or one entry. That's
Oh,
all.
your LinkedIn
That's
is still on top, so it's not an issue.
Because my name is unique, I
man,
guess.
Your second one is Facebook. And that is Zoom. You have retailconnections.co.uk. I think it must be your interview.
I think so.
Hey, you have a personal YouTube channel?
I did set up one, but it's just to deposit my retail videos, which I didn't do a good job at. I just put in a few.
You have
I didn't
half a
put in
page,
everything.
Jeremy.
Yay! I was right, half a page.
Dude.
Despite the fact that I think my name is unique.
I have the worst name though.
Why?
Yeah. Huh?
Why?
Oh, I think it's okay.
I have the bad Chinese name, like Kwok. So a lot
Aaron
of times
Kwok.
people think I'm very wealthy too because of
Aaron
Kevin
Kwok.
The Kwok, the Hong Kong millionaire.
Oh,
He always come up. The
Robert
billionaire.
Kwok, right?
Oh,
I think so.
yeah. And the whole kidnap and all those articles always come up. Yeah. So
The surprising one is the surprising one on Google search is you, Kevin. I don't see any. It's you're buried amongst the rest of.
Yeah, there's a
Kwok.
lot of Kevin Kwok's. Yeah.
Maybe you should change your index to social quack or something. Then some things will start to come up.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's dependent on how people search for you. I mean,
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
And
so you guys think this holds true for selling things online as well? Just keep writing about a product. Will that work?
Yes. Yep. So I think when it comes to selling online, I think, you got to be able to cut through the noise. So it goes from the people, if you're an SME, your team, your culture, right? The people that are part of that company, instead of just having Eldrick be indexed. What if Eldrick and his staff member, Kevin and Jeremy, all of us are doing the same thing to lift the brand, right? People have to look at that. When you're small, mid-sized, you got to do more work, So, it's very relevant. I think a lot of business owners, they get selfish and they're like, oh, I don't want my employees to build their personal brand or them put stuff online. To me, why not? Because at the end, if they all work for the same company, it lifts the brand, right? If someone decides to not go work for you or compete with you, they're going to do it anyway, at some point. So I think, selling online is so different today. You have to look at, the product, the service you're providing. You have to look at the community, who's your audience. And then you have to look at, how am I going to do it? Like Eldrick said, you have to know yourself. Hey, am I good on video? If I'm not, can I hire someone that's good on video? Because I actually see there's companies like this. I don't know in Asia, but in the US, you can hire someone an agency to represent you on the live shows. Like a host, right? You can hire people to host your live shows. And I see a lot of IT companies do it. They'll hire some sort of influencer to host their show, and then they pay them monthly to retain them to just do live shows for them. I'm still waiting for that. So if any of you, tonight we have a lot of people. There's a huge audience. So thank you. Hey, if you want to hire us, Eldrick, me, Jeremy,
We just
Probably
established
Jeremy.
we're not good.
we're
We just
very
established
cheap.
you're not good.
We're very cheap as long as it's after hours.
it's probably more for Jeremy.
Why? Why me? Why me?
You get your
I'm
energy.
more the host kind.
No, you get your energy from people.
Although that's true. That's true. That's why
Hello,
I'm suffering.
Jacqueline.
I'm suffering working from home. Very little energy anyway. I don't get the energy from my kids. They just diffuse my
Drain your
energy.
energy.
They drain exactly.
No, but like I think selling online, you gotta be aware. You really have to have awareness as a small business owner, like, and be able to listen to your consumers, know where they're at, and I've said this before. A lot of people say you need to be everywhere, but everywhere is not realistic. Because it takes work. Everywhere takes work. In order to do well.
I think if you want to close this off, right? Because I gotta be somewhere else. I have seen an example of I would say probably the only example that sticks in my mind. I'm not sure if it's really an SME, but it's really about this CEO who has this business who sells blenders. Blenders. Yeah. And I think he has this YouTube channel whereby he really just goes every episode and says, "Can it blend?"
ASMR.
No, not ASMR. It's really, can it blend? So you think he will take things that because he sticks by his product that is very good blender. It can blend a lot of things. So he will throw different things into it and ask the question, can it blend? Can it blend? I don't know, a microchip? Can it blend this scissors or whatever? Right? So you put different users into it and really ask the question, can it blend? Because he sticks by his product, right? So I think in that sense, this example stuck because it was the CEO and he has a product that he stands by and he proves that the product is good by doing these videos online. And I guess in that way it sells. People are interested to know if can this thing blend this other thing, right? So there's a lot of interest there as well. And I think I've probably seen this really quite a while back, but now that we're on this topic, it just popped up into my head, and I thought I just want to share this example. I can't remember the name, but I think if you go to YouTube and you check "Can it blend," I think it will pop up, and I think that's just a good example.
Why would you know it in the first place?
Random looking at stuff.
I think
YouTube.
I've seen it too. Is he the guy that blends the iPhone and?
Yeah, all sorts of things. He blends all sorts of things. Yeah,
I'm very
exactly that guy.
by what you guys search on YouTube. Like,
it's good to know. It's good to know for shows like this. Yeah.
But it goes back to the whole idea of like creativity, right?
Creativity, yes, exactly.
When you're a small business owner, you have to be creative. Like when I talk to small business owners, they'll tell me some of the times, because we're a creative marketing agency, the first thing they'll come tell me is like, "Oh, we're not creative." Oh, you are, because every small business owners, I have to say, you got to be pretty creative to even start your own business, right? There's some level of creativity to create a service, to create a product, So, I mean, anyone out there, you're trying to survive and make money to survive, you have to be creative.
Yep, because think about it, how to sell blenders? You just put vegetable and this can blend vegetable, see how fine, this can blend, this fruit, how fine it is, right? But this guy does it completely opposite differently.
Well, same thing.
Right. That's creativity.
Remember Purple Mattress?
Purple? No. Don't know the example,
okay. Sorry. The mattress where, they would put the mattress and they'll lay it on top of all the eggs. And then
it doesn't crush, right?
Yeah, it doesn't crush, right? In the U.S., it took off, and they had a smaller marketing budget, but they did a series of videos and they ran ads, and I think people just enjoy watching. Oh, will the eggs crush? And they had all these creative and like
curiosity.
Same thing with that. I did not. Too expensive for me.
You look like you are so enticed by the whatever purple mattress thing.
No, I only knew because I had a client come to me and wants to do the
So the takeaway for our audience tonight is that no matter how creative you are, there will always be people who watch your ads and don't buy from you.
Yep,
that's life.
But
that's true.
Yes, but a lot more people lot more people watch it, that means there's a higher chance that more people will buy. It's always about the numbers, right? Conversion. And so if you get exposed to more people with your creativity, higher chances you'll get, higher sales, or you will convert. It's always a numbers game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. Be it online, even more so online. Yeah.
Yep. So with everything, just to end tonight, right? The ROI is in the metrics of people. The more people you hit, the more possibility, it goes back to your college class statistics.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all marketing is, right? Is like, how do we have more reach to the more your target audience, the right people seeing it, right? So example, you don't want to run your ads to Eldrick because that's the wrong audience.
No,
he will not buy anything.
He doesn't watch YouTube ads.
You don't run your ads to Jeremy.
So how do you reach more people is through creativity. And how do you get that creativity spin and blend? Yeah, look for us, the three of us. I think between the three of us, we can think of something for you.
Because I think too, people have to think. And the worst thing you can do is to see a blender guy do it, and then you do the same thing. So this is huge,
you go,
right?
Why didn't I think of that? Yeah, why didn't I think of that?
You need to be the original. Because I have a lot of people come to me for marketing, and they go, I want to look just like my competitor. And then my question is, why? Your competitor already did it. They're successful. Why you want to do just like, hey, perfect example, McDonald's and Wendy's, okay? It's very hard for Wendy's to catch McDonald's. No matter how good and creative
they can single out the first letter of Wendy's, which is the W, and then paint it yellow, so it's the inverted.
Inverted golden arches.
See, Eldrick's are creative. No matter what they do with Twitter, that it's so hard for them to catch a McDonald's. Okay? So the truth is, like, don't be a follower. Be the next biggest thing, right? That's where your creativity needs to come in. So if you have a blender, now you don't want to blend cell phones. You got blend your hand.
No.
Blend your laptops.
You to be out there.
Don't try at home.
You have to think outside of the box. Okay. So I think to end tonight, I know a lot of business owners in the online market is going to be selling something, right? On Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Think about your copy. Think about what you're putting out on these ads. It's the image, that you're putting out like everyone else, right? Example, if you got a bunch, let's say you sell clothes, right? You got to be creative. You might have a man wear women's clothes and you're trying to sell a women's product. I don't know, right? You have to, what's going to catch people? You got to think about scrolling, right? If you're doing social media ads, what's going to stop them while they're scrolling through a bunch of things? So the worst thing you can do for yourself is blend in.
You need to pop out. Yep,
you need to pop out. So, and every marketing guru out there, people in the retail business will tell you that it's no different than back in the days, the windows, why people invest so much money in the display, the mannequins, is because they want to stand out. So remember to stand out when you're selling online, and we'll see you next week.
Gotta go.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.